I am the oldest sibling. Anyone here the oldest in their family? Yeah. Yeah, how many siblings do you have? Four. Anyone here has one? Yeah, one week. That's just a friend you share DNA with, you know? No, you gotta have four. I have four. I have four siblings younger than me. And here's the thing, I did not ask for that many. I was happy being an only child for like 2 years, you know, happiest 2 years of my life, the first 2 years. And then my parents decided having more, and they tried to convince me now. They're like, oh, you always wanted siblings. And I was like, again, I was two. Like, why are you asking me about family planning? Like I didn't even know what abortion was, and I was pro. I'm like, let's do it. Four is too many. I love my siblings so much, but too many. And when I was 19, I had to drive my youngest two siblings to school every morning because my dad wanted me to. And they're 12 years younger than me. And I did that for months, and then I got so over it. I was like, I'm gonna put an end to this. So one morning, 8 a.m., I'm driving them. I was like, hey guys, I'm gonna tell you something. And there is no easy way to say what I'm about to say, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm your dad. And they were like, what? I was like, I'm your dad. Sorry for the confusion. You know, there was no better time to tell you than 8 a.m. today. And then they were like, no, you're not. And I was like, you guys notice we look alike? And they were like, we do. And then I was like, okay, one more question. I was like, your friends? Who drives them to school every morning? And they were like, their parents. And I was like, who drives you to school every morning? And they both started sobbing. And my dad was so mad. He was like, why would you do this to them? And I was like, why would you do this to me? Like, you made me do it. And from that day on, my dad drove my siblings to school every morning just to prove that he is their father. And what I'm saying, trauma is beautiful if you could utilize it. Speaking of trauma, my dad growing up would make us food sometimes, and it was disgusting, it was bad. It was my mom, an amazing cook. My dad, no. And whenever my mom got sick, he'd step in and be like, guys, I got you. And I was like, you never got us. And he knew how to cook one thing, and that dish is called shakshuka. And if you're familiar with shakshuka, it is eggs and tomatoes. You think you can't mess that up. My dad can't, and that's a talent in itself. He made it so bad, and and he made us the food, and it tasted so bad that it felt like he made it with like hate in his heart or something. And I remember we get to eating, and he'd be like, hey kids, remember this, make sure that you don't eat with your left hand. You have to eat with your right hand. Because if you eat with your left hand, the devil eats with you. And I was like, you have so much confidence, the devil is not touching this shit. I'm like, he's not stupid, like he's the devil. Okay, like if anything, let him have some. Maybe he'll get food poisoning. Did you think about that? That's a good deed.